Greetings, it's great to see you here. If you enjoy our content, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all new videos and updates. Thanks for your support. Christina found herself spending her days sitting in front of her laptop, tirelessly searching for job openings. In between job hunting, she delved into reading reviews and articles about the company she had been unceremoniously dismissed from. Among the plethora of glowing testimonials, she spotted a few negative ones, but they were easily overshadowed by the positive ones. She couldn't help but acknowledge that she had once fallen for the company's seemingly reputable image herself. As a week passed, Christina's anxiety grew. The looming deadline for paying her rent intensified her worries. With no interview invitations yet, uncertainty clouded her days. She grappled with the dilemma of whether to extend her lease if she couldn't secure a job in time. One evening, while scrolling through articles related to the company's owner, she stumbled upon an unexpected revelation. Contrary to her assumption that a young entrepreneur had founded the progressive firm, she discovered that its creator was Fyodor Alexeyevich Vlasov, a man well into his 60s residing in Moscow. The articles praised him as a prosperous businessman and a generous philanthropist. However, they provided limited information about his personal life, with no photographs accompanying the articles. Frustratingly, the images she found online were of subpar quality, leaving her unable to discern much about him. As these thoughts swirled in her mind, a seed of an idea began to sprout. The notion that if she truly sought justice, she needed to bypass the local branch and take her concerns directly to the headquarters, where decisions were likely to be made. The idea of going to Moscow to confront the company's headquarters became increasingly compelling for Christina. Unable to shake off the thought, she finally reached out to her friend Marina for advice. "Hey Marina," she began, "I've been thinking. What do you think about me coming to Moscow for a while? Could I stay with you? Of course, I wouldn't want it to be for free. I know you're renting an apartment." Marina's voice on the other end of the line was warm and cheerful. "Absolutely. I'd love to have you. And don't worry about payment. We're already sharing a rented apartment, the three of us. Each of us has our own room. In fact, one of the girls is moving out in a week. If you're up for it, the room will be available for you. You can stay for as long as you need, and when you decide to leave, just let us know in advance so we can start looking for a new roommate. Of course, you'd have to pitch in for your share of the rent." Christina felt a wave of gratitude for her friend's understanding. "That sounds perfect, Marisha. Thank you so much. I'll definitely be there. When is your current roommate moving out?" Christina saw the unfolding events as if fate was guiding her steps towards Moscow. She felt an urgency to go, even though she wasn't entirely sure what she would do once she got there. But the decision was made, and it was time to act. She packed up her belongings and moved out of her apartment. At home, she shared the news that she was going to Moscow for a study opportunity, and that she had been granted a few days of vacation to spend time with her family before leaving. Her parents were taken aback by the suddenness of the decision and expressed their concerns about her traveling so far away. Her friend Ella's reaction was unexpectedly nonchalant. "I hope you'll be back before the wedding," she remarked casually. "I'll try my best, and hopefully even sooner," Christina replied. "But why the long face? Is something going wrong with the wedding preparations?" Ella's expression turned more serious as she confided, "Our relationship isn't going well. I'm starting to regret that he even proposed to me. I've compromised on so many things, reduced the guest list, simplified the wedding plans, but he keeps adding new conditions. It feels like he doesn't really want to marry me. I think it's important to have an open and calm conversation with him," Christina suggested. "Try to address your concerns without resorting to a hysterical tone." I'm not sure I can do that, Ella admitted. Write to me from Moscow and don't forget about us. I promise, Christina assured her. As the evening settled in, Christina made sure she had everything she needed and headed to the train station. She felt a mix of excitement and nervousness as she embarked on this journey into the unknown with an unclear plan. Peter Alexeyevich Vlasov was a powerful figure leading a vast corporation, while she was just a girl without connections in Moscow. The challenge seemed insurmountable. How could she possibly make a difference? She wouldn't accidentally run into him on the street or spot him in the subway. The weight of uncertainty pressed heavily on her heart as she stood on the platform, waiting for her train to arrive. Marina's apartment turned out to be quite different from Christina's expectations. The building itself was old and rundown, with a grimy entrance and a similarly neglected courtyard. The interior of the apartment matched the exterior, with worn-out furniture and an overall air of decay. It was late at night when Christina arrived. Outside the entrance, someone was sitting on a bench, drinking. Marina, I must admit, I didn't expect the place to be like this, Christina said. Why do you live here? We're close to work from here. Rent in Moscow is incredibly expensive, so compromises are necessary. If you're uncomfortable staying, then... Marina, Christina quickly interrupted her. I was just curious. I'm more concerned about you. I'm happy to stay. That's okay, Marina replied, thawing a bit and hugging her friend. I understand that we live in quite modest conditions. Sometimes I get defensive about comments on the apartment, but this is our reality. It's just awkward with the guys. I can't tell them where I live. But we've found a solution. When you head to the bus stop, look to your left. There's a new high-rise building there. We joke that it's our place. We know the gate code, and we have a security guard there. If you need help, just let us know. So you came to Moscow for a wealthy suitor, didn't you? Why, Masha, Marina's neighbor, asked. Looking for a job? We need waitresses at the restaurant. Thank you, Masha. I'm not even sure why I came here yet. I'll explore for a few days and then figure out my plan. You just hopped on a train and came here on a whim. Christine wasn't eager to divulge the exact purpose of her trip. However, she was completely uncertain about her next steps, and the input from the girls might be helpful. She briefly recounted the events at her previous workplace. What jerks, Marina muttered. So what's your plan? I don't know. I don't want to just let it go. I can't help but think that other girls might end up in my shoes. Do you want to find a job with that same company here in Moscow? I don't know. I doubt they'd hire me. Besides, they must have some centralized database. It's a massive corporation, after all. If I submit my documents to their HR department, they'll probably find out. You're right about that. But you could still go for an interview, just to get a sense of what they're like. If I can't come up with a better idea, I might have to, Christina sighed. I saw an advertisement for an upcoming technology exhibition on the train. Maybe I can somehow meet him there. You're planning to spend the entire day at the expo. How will you even know when he's going to be there? They're having an official opening on Saturday evening, and it's by invitation only. If he's attending the exhibit, it's likely he'll be at that event. And how do you plan to get an invitation? Christina chewed on her lower lip. Can you buy them? She asked. If they're available for purchase, they must be quite expensive, Masha chuckled. Considering your profession, don't you have any connections who could get you an invitation? Christina pondered that. Yura might be able to help. She and Yura had worked together before, and she knew that her former boss had extensive contacts in Moscow. But the odds of it working out seemed slim. What if he's not even there? Christina mumbled. Based on your reaction, it sounds like you have someone in mind to ask, Marina teased. It's Yura, Christina admitted. Remember him? The one who was head over heels for you? Always tagging along like a shadow. He's still head over heels. I tried for ages to get a job at that company. I focused all my efforts on it and didn't even consider other options. They rejected me every time. I had given up. Yura was always there, bugging me with his, let's give it one more shot. So I stupidly said yes. We dated for about 3 months. I made it clear to him that I wanted to leave. But of course, as soon as I packed my bags, he started pleading. And he's still pleading. A heartwarming story, I must say, Masha remarked. But here in Moscow, it's survival of the fittest. You need to meet this man, then give your ex a call. And if you're here to moan and groan, then stay put until your money runs out. After that, you can come work as a waitress with me to earn your ticket home. Christina let out a heavy sigh. All right, I'll give him a call, she agreed.